So, hello guys, this is going to be my patch rundown for 3.8. It's a little late since the patch has been out for like 2 weeks almost. Actually, it's about a week or so. We're kind of busy with E3 and LCS, so I'm going to do it right now. So, they added Aatrox in the game. I haven't played him too much, but like from all the times I've seen him in solo queue, he looks like he dominates lane and then he just gets like wrecked in team fights and stuff like that. So, I'm not sure how strong he is. I have to see him more, but I don't know how. I don't know. I just need to see him more. And then they changed Annie. They increased the health on Tibbers by 1,000. They raised his magic resist by 70 up to 70, so it's 5 increase. It's like whatever. And then mana cost reduced in the ultimate down to 100, which is actually really good. The biggest change is the mana cost reduction and 1k health on the Tibbers, because that allows you to tank Baron and towers and things like that a lot better. And then the mana cost change allows you to build like Doran's Annie instead of like having to have mana problems late game. So that's actually kind of good for Annie. Then they just changed Ashe to like kind of a little, almost like a quality of life kind of thing with the crit stacks. It allows you to like predict them more rather than just it being random. It was like before, it was like, oh, it added like a little bit of crit percentage onto my thing. Now you can like actually see the amount of focus stacks you have and know if you're gonna get the guaranteed crit or not. Quirky bug fix. Hecarim, they made it to where you can E over some small walls, which is actually pretty cool. You can do some cool tricks with that. But the cooldown's so high that it's probably like ever going to be used for escapes or chasing. Like you can E over the little dragon walls and things like that. And then they also nerfed the, what is it? No longer deals damage at the end location. Rider's damage increases 350 from 300. So they increased the damage on his ultimate by 50. Huh. That's weird. I thought they decreased it. Oh, whatever. But no longer deals damage to the end location. I don't know. I don't know. I think it means less damage. Like, cause isn't there like a two-part thing to the damage thing? I don't know, I have to try it some. I haven't played Hecarim since the change. Then they keep buffing Karma over and over again. I actually tried Karma jungle for a little bit, and it actually worked out pretty good. You max Q first, and then you just use empowered W's, and you go like full tank CDR Karma with a little bit of AP. It's actually pretty good. Just kind of like worked with their mana costs, made the explosion radius on Q a little bit better, so it's easier to hit, and then they made the healing a little bit better on her W. So just more like small fixes for Karma. I don't know how I feel about her yet. She's still just a weird champion. Her kitchen's weird. And then they did a lot of nerfs and buffs to Kha'Zix, and yeah, they did a lot of nerfs and buffs to Kha'Zix. Now he's like less of a pokey champion, and he's more of an all-in assassin. Like if he gets on somebody who's singled out in a team fight, he'll like instantly kill them because of the way his isolation damage works now. They increased the damage bonus by 45%, and then the evolution also adds 8% missing health damage. So it's insane. Like if somebody's split from the team, Kha'Zix will instantly kill them unless they have like a GA or something. But now like his W doesn't have that like amazing wave clear because it doesn't apply the passive. So I see a lot of people that are evolving Q or E first now. The W slows also though. Like one thing that Boy is talking about is like you can go into like a brush and get like unseen, and then you can open with like a auto Q to proc your passive, and then you can use your W to slow again. So you have 2 slows now instead of 1. So that's actually kind of like a cool little thing. And they also made it to where you can't jump while you're you can't use your W while leaping, which kind of like is kind of weird for Kha'Zix's burst damage. It just changes the way you have to play him a little bit. I think he's worse than he was before, but I think he still has a place as like a top laner. It's more of like a pick somebody off, 1v1 you kind of thing now. Bug fix for Kog'Maw on his E. Sandra, they reduced the cooldown for her Ring of Frost. It's kind of more for like early level things, and they reduced the mana cost. And then the Glacial Path cooldown begins. Basically, that lowers the CDR, the cooldown of it overall, because you don't have to wait for like the full team to travel before it goes on cooldown. And then the self duration increased to 2.5 from 1.5 on her ultimate. Basically, I think it's to put it more in line with like things like Hourglass. Because if you have 2.5 seconds on yourself and then your Hourglass, you can just like wreak havoc at a team, and you're so hard to target. So she's mainly like a team fight disruptor now. It's pretty good. Then they buffed Nautilus's early game damage, but then they lowered the late game. It's kind of like a buff nerf. I mean, it's alright. Like Nautilus is still in a good place. It helped out one of his like weakest points, which is his early game, so that's good too though. But it hurt his late game damage by 30, which is, I don't know. It's Nautilus is still good. He's still okay. He's definitely good in solo queue. But now his damage just got hit over. He's more of a tank initiator now. Poppy. Nothing on Bobby. They reduced the damage on. Basically, did like small nerfs on Sejuani. Like they lowered the amount of the slow duration. They lowered her damage on her Q, and they also lowered the stun on her ultimate a little bit. I guess it's kind of making it to where like if you get hit by a Sejuani ult, and you don't have Merc Treads, it's so brutal. It's like an AOE 2-second stun. Like that's so brutal if you don't have Merc Treads. From the range it is, and the spread, even the slow is like brutal. So I think it's just all like more to put her in line and to be like it's more forgiving, I guess. Like there's not much counterplay before to Sejuani hitting you with a 2-second ult. Then they nerfed Sona's auras in this, and then they buffed her like laning by increasing her health, her base armor, and then the values that she gets with her auras. So this is like a buff nerf of Sona. She's still pretty much the same champion. She's still really good. They fixed the thing where you can flash while charging up Death Sentence on Thresh, which is really good because before it's like a 1400 damage, 1400 range hook you're hitting on somebody, which is so stupid. Like you can initiate from so far. So I'm glad they fixed that. Bug fix for Varus, random bug fixes for Vi. These are actually nerfs to a lot of champions like Singe, Skarner, and Volibear. Before you could flash fling with like Volibear, and even if you flashed, it would still fling you back. Like so they fixed it to where you can't do that anymore. So it's like nerfs to Singe and Volibear. And Jace's Thundering Blow, just to work like more consistent with Flash. Let's see what else happens. Changes the slow zones. I haven't really experienced any of this kind of stuff yet. The boots of speed cost reduced, but then they raised like the value of the level 2 boots. This is nice for me as a jungler because I don't really have that much money often when my first trip back. So usually I have enough money to get boots, my spirit item, and a ward now because of this 25 gold change without having to wait. Nice buff to Doran's Ring. It's so cheap now. It's cost effective. It's like I think there's like 700 or 800 gold that it's worth in cost effectiveness. It's like 720 or something like that. It's really good though. Doran's Ring is just like a monstrously good item. If you can, you just get 1 or 2 of them and you just dominate your lane. Yeah, you get some health potions. I like it. And then the Doran Shield change is amazing because you stack this with the defense tree mastery. We reduce damage, like auto attack damage from champions, and like champions like Udyr and Shen who have artificial health. It's just really good, and it's cheap. So you can go to like lane with a Doran Shield and a health pot now instead of just having to be stuck with no health pot. So I just really love the new Doran Shield. It's good. They basically nerfed Madrid's Razor on this by like 10 damage because they took the 10 extra damage of minions off when you do the combined cost. This is like a nerf to Madrid's. I don't know what they're doing with this. I really don't like it. I don't think I'm ever gonna build Madrid's on any other champion again. They need to tweak that item. And they kind of tweaked around the Spirit Stone items too. Where is it at? Yeah, they. What is it? Yeah, Spirit of the Ancient Golem had its damage increased to monsters. Eldos has its damage dropped by 10, but it has the damage increased by 5%. And Spectral Ape got its AP reduced by 10. And that's just because those items are so cost effective. They reduced the cost Recur Bow by 50, that's whatever. I think that's to like go along with Wit's End, since they changed it. And the new Wit's End is like really expensive, but on champions like Udyr and Shen, if you can get it like along with your core items, you do an insane amount of damage. So I actually really do like the new Wit's End. Just still kind of expensive. I think they need to lower it by like maybe 100 gold. And then Nashor's maybe 100 or 200 gold actually. It's just too expensive. You'll never get it on tank. Because you always want to get Bulwark instead. And I haven't used the new Nashor's tube yet. And they also increased the spawn time on small camp. So now like lanes can't be doing small camps and then going into lane. Which is really good. I've seen people still able to do double golems on blue side. But you have a chance of losing a melee minion on that. So, what else do they have? And yeah, they made it to where the buffs give more experience. So counter jungling those buffs is actually very vital. It's like more, it hurts the jungler a lot more than it was before. So junglers like Nunu are extremely powerful because you can just do your buff and then run down to their buff and consume smite it. And like that's like 1100 damage almost that you have to deal with on a combo. And it's so hard to like fight a buff on that. And these are all just like they added like items and tweaked them into this. But yeah, that's about it. That's it for the patch rundown. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Hey.